Hallo alle zusammen. Es tut mir leid, aber heute seid ihr wieder dran mit der Videoaufgabe. Und zwar machen wir weiter mit dem Akkusativ. Hi everyone. Today, unfortunately, it's your turn to get another video lesson while German 3 gets some attention. And we're going to continue with accusative. So yesterday we did a lot of review about what marks the different cases, and we did some review on what the different cases are. So you guys reviewed that nominative case was the subject case. And that accusative case was our direct object case. Okay, once we had gone through that, I then showed you 5 prepositions, 5 little prepositions. 2 of them you guys had, sorry about that. 2 of them you guys had already seen with time, and that was and gegen. What did these mean again whenever you were using them with time? So if I said something like 4 Uhr, or gegen 4 Uhr. What do I mean with those? Okay, so hopefully you guys figured that out, and 4 Uhr means at 4 o'clock, and gegen 4 Uhr means around 4 o'clock. Okay, so of course, those are not the same meaning as when you use them with places. So what I want you guys to do really quickly is you have and gegen. What were the other 3 prepositions that take the accusative case? What were the other 3 accusative prepositions? Okay, so they were ohne, für, and durch. So those were the 5 prepositions, and we had done a little bit of practice with those. Okay. So whenever you're talking about places, meant around. Gegen meant against or into. Ohne meant without. Für meant for, and durch meant through. So those were those meanings. Once we'd done that, we had started looking at a little activity, and we didn't quite finish that activity together, but I think you guys finished it in your books. So since we didn't finish it, what I want you guys to do is just go through, check your notes really quick, make sure that you have all 10 of these answered. And I'm going to actually put the questions into this little video and have you guys answer them. If there are any that you don't understand at the end, I'm going to add a little comment section, and I want you guys to tell me which one you don't understand so I can explain it later in class. Thank you. Okay, so I hope you guys got all of those right and that it's not super confusing for you guys. There were some words in those little questions that maybe you haven't seen before. Some of you may have, but probably not all of you. We had, for example, a little sentence that had the word dich in it. Dich. Please try repeating that out loud. It's dich. It's very soft. It's sort of like ich, just with a D in the front. And the sentence was, this was number 3. Hier ist ein Brief. You filled in the blank, hopefully with the right thing, which was für dich. What that means is, here is a letter for you. So hier ist ein Brief für dich. What do you guys think dich might mean? So the whole sentence means, here is a letter for you. So it just means you. Now in English, when we have you, it does not change between the 2 cases. Oops, English spelling. Okay, it does not change whenever we say it in English. If I say you are writing a letter or here's a letter for you, it is exactly the same. But if I made this a he, like another person, it would change. So if I said, hier ist ein Brief, ist ein Brief für Mike, And I then replaced Mike with a pronoun. So here is a letter for Mike. In English, you would not say here's a letter for he. You would say here is a letter for him in English. Now in German, that is für ihn. Okay? Here's a letter for him becomes hier ist ein Brief für ihn. So what those are the personal pronouns in accusative case. And they change from the ones in nominative case. So I'm going to go through really quick and just sketch out all the different ones for you in German for nominative. So ich, du, er, sie, es. And then on the plural side, wir, ihr, sie. I'm going to add sie formal. So wir, ihr, sie, and sie. Ich, du, er, sie, es, wir, ihr, sie. So these are the nominative ones. The accusative ones are going to be mich. Please repeat these out loud. Mich, dich, ihn, sie, es. So sie and es do not change. So mich, dich, ihn, sie, es. And on the other side, uns, euch, and sie also don't change. So the new ones are, one more time, please repeat, mich, dich, ihn, uns, euch. I know that one is hard. If you need help pronouncing that, please come to me and ask. That's euch. Okay. So, again, what this is, whenever you're using a personal pronoun and the person that you're replacing is going to be an accusative case, like Mike in this case up here, you're going to use the accusative personal pronoun. Now, this is not because Mike is a direct object. He's not. It's because Mike is following this preposition. He's part of the prepositional phrase that uses an accusative preposition, in this case, für. So thus, you have to stick to the accusative pronoun. Now, some of you may be curious where you can find all of this stuff in your spiral. So if you're looking at your orange spiral, this thing, and you flip all the way to the back, there is a section called Grammar Tables. It's after the last chapter. It starts out like this, grammatical tables. Flip to the second page. At the very top of that second page is this little chart. Now in that chart it says nominative subject, accusative direct object, dative indirect object. You don't have the dative yet, so don't worry about that. But this row is what you just wrote down in your composition book. If you need the translations, they're also in there. They're right next to it. Don't worry so much about this it. What I'd like you to do is actually just go through and cross it out so you don't get confused. The reason that's there is because, of course, we have things that are grammatically masculine, like, for example, der Schreibtisch, the desk. If we replace something that's grammatically masculine, we're going to use ihn. So in English, that would be it, not him. That's why this it is there. But if you're using something that's masculine grammatically, use ihn. If it's something that's neuter, like das Buch, it's es. And if it's something that's feminine, die Tasche, it's sie. Okay, so just stick to that grammar. Thanks. Okay, now that you guys have hopefully understood all of that, this is your spiral. I want you guys to go through and complete page 145. I'm going to do the first one with you, the example, and then the first question so that you know exactly what you're doing. So for all of these, it says use personal pronouns for all subjects and direct objects. So you have to choose whether or not nominative or accusative are needed, and you're using those personal pronouns you just wrote down the chart for. So you have a question, ruft ihr mich morgen an? Okay, the question has anrufen, which was not one of the ones in your chart that I gave you or in your vocab that I gave you, but this one was the one that meant to call. So you have anrufen. And you have a question. Ruft ihr mich morgen an? The answer is a yes, so it's a yes or no question. Ja. The next thing you need is the new subject. So if the question goes to you, are you calling me tomorrow? Or are you all calling me tomorrow? You're not going to say, yes, you all are calling me tomorrow. You would say, yes, we are calling you tomorrow. So instead of using the ihr here, you have to replace that because that's you all answering me. So you're going to say wir, right? We. Then you're going to rearrange your verb and make sure that you have the right form. So this is conjugated for ihr. So we're going to now say wir rufen. So we're changing our ending to conjugate that verb. And then we're not saying me anymore. You're going to say you because you're calling me back. So you're going to answer with you. And mich is accusative. It stays accusative. So you're going to say dich, sorry. Wir rufen dich morgen an. Okay, I hope that made sense. If you look at another one, kennst du Stephanie Brown? Do you know Stephanie Brown? You, of course, wouldn't answer with, yes, you know Stephanie Brown. You would say, yes, I know Stephanie Brown. Or in this case, actually, you're going to negate. If you have questions and you don't understand how to do this activity, come and get me. Otherwise, please go through and do the entire thing. I want you guys to finish the page before the end of class today.